a tribute to him. Very, very sad when we lose somebody that was kind of iconic, and Ray was. He worked so often. Everybody knew him, world renowned. So what could I say? Ray, we're going to miss you. Hey everyone, welcome to another Sit Down with Michael Franzese. Hope everybody is doing well. All is blessed on this end. Praise God for that. And before I go into anything today, I just want to give a real thank you to all of those people that sent me birthday well wishes and birthday greetings. I hit 71 last week, and it was overwhelming the amount of just greetings and well wishes that I got from all of you across all my social media platforms. Literally hundreds upon hundreds, maybe even more than that. So obviously I can't get to each one of you and thank you, although I would like to personally. I just want to tell you, I feel so blessed. It was just overwhelming, but myself and my family, we just can't thank you enough. So thank you very much. There was a time in my life when I didn't know if I was going to reach 71. Things got kind of touchy for me, and maybe some of you have had different experiences and are grateful to be at the age that you are right now. So 71 for me is a plateau. And I got to tell you something. Honestly, I don't feel any different than I did, 20, 30, 40 years ago. Every once in a while, maybe a little bit more tired, I don't know, after a workout, but I'm still feeling good. Praise God for that. Hopefully it continues like this. And another couple of things. I want to thank everybody, all my people and my new followers and friends over in the United Kingdom. I spent a week there a few weeks back doing publicity and media for my tour. And again, the response was overwhelming. Tickets are going like crazy. We got 20 plus dates and a lot of new followers. And just, it's great, man. And, I feel so blessed and so fortunate just to be involved in this and doing what I'm doing. So again, it wouldn't be possible without all of you. So I thank you all so much. Know that it's very, very much appreciated. And again, thank you for all those of you who bought my book, left reviews. You got it to #1 on Amazon in 4 different categories. The same with Barnes & Noble. It's moving fast, Mafia Democracy. But best of all, the comments that I'm getting from people that have read it, you're really getting it. You're getting it. You're understanding, why I wrote the book, what I'm trying to point out, and I really appreciate it. And the fact that our government is just not behaving properly, very Machiavellian, very mob-like, and we got to put a stop to it and hold our people accountable. And from the reaction that I got from the book, I feel very, very fortunate that all of you are really getting it. So thank you for that. And now to get in today's subject matter, last week I had the pleasure of being with my dear friend Chaz Balminteri. He and I are going to be doing a special podcast together, The Wise and the Wiseguy. For those of you that follow Chaz and have seen his movies, he's very wise, comes up with some great sayings, just great lessons for all of us. One clip of a lesson that he gave, or a saying that he gave, when I interviewed him, when we had a sit down, got over 70 million views. Just a short clip. He's a wise man. I was once a wise guy, and we're going to be discussing things from Machiavelli and some other very wise people. Solomon, the book of Proverbs. You don't have to be a religious guy to get into Solomon. The Proverbs are brilliant. If you listen to what this man had to say, you can't go wrong. So between Machiavelli and Solomon and so many other people that we're going to go over, we're going to talk about how their ideology affected our government, how it affected people worldwide, and how it can affect and impact you. And from our different perspectives, I think you're going to really enjoy it. We had a great time. We started filming some of it, and everybody who's heard it so far on the team has been very excited. So we look forward to getting together. Unfortunately, though, when Chaz and I were together, we got the word that morning that Ray Liotta had passed away. It was very sad. He was a young guy. He was only 67 years old. It was sudden. He died of a heart attack. I'm sure most of you know that. In his sleep, he was filming a movie out of the country, and we were both very, very sad to hear it. Now, Chaz knew him, said he was a wonderful guy. I wish I would have known him a little bit better, but, you know, very, very sad. So I want to do kind of a tribute today to Ray Liotta. That's what this video is going to be all about. This sit-down is going to be all about. And I got to tell you, I got off saying this. You know, the first time I saw Ray Liotta was in Goodfellas. And I wasn't really thrilled with his character. Why? Because I knew Henry Hill very well, and people know that. We've spoken about him in the past. And he certainly didn't fit Henry Hill's character. Now, let me say this. He made Henry Hill look great, I got to tell you. And then when I got into it a little bit and I kind of forgot Henry for a minute and just started watching Ray, he was brilliant. He did a brilliant job. He played off of De Niro so well and everybody. And he was brilliant in that role, and that was my first introduction to him. But remember, I knew Henry well, and Henry never looked so good as Ray Liotta portrayed him. So I want to get into a few things that you may not know about Ray. And I got to tell you this, I knew a lot of the actors that worked with him, and everybody that did had nothing but nice things to say about him. So he must have been a real sweetheart of a guy. That's what I hear. He was a brilliant actor. He's got far too many movies for me to name, but I'm going to name at the end of this a few that I really liked. He's known, his best role is obviously in Goodfellas, and that's what really got him off. You know, he had done a few things before that, but Goodfellas was his shining moment, and from there, he just took off. But a couple of things you may not know about Ray. Number one, his full name at birth was Raymond Allen Liotta. He shortened his name to Ray when he began acting. So he started out as Ray. You know, he also started out when he was a kid, and I think in high school, he made pizza. And I read an article that his, associates in the pizza place said he was great, that he really knew how to flip and spin a pizza. And, again, even way back when, they had nothing but nice things to say about him. So you may not have known that, but Ray was a great pizza man. Ray Liotta was adopted. He was adopted when he was 6 months old, and he never went to find out who his real parents were. Imagine that. You know, and I can relate to that because many of you know that, Sonny Franzese, we hear it all the time. Was he your real father? Was he not your real father? And I told you there was a revelation. I grew up with myself thinking that he was my adopted father when my mother made a startling revelation to my co-writer on the first book I wrote, Quitting the Mob, and said, no, that's not the truth, that Sonny Franzese is Michael's real father. I didn't find out until I was, in my 40s. I never took a DNA test. I know my father never, ever liked to hear that I was his adopted son or his stepson. He would get angry with people when they would say that. People said, Mike, why don't you do a DNA test? What does it matter? That's my dad. I've known him that way all my life, whether he's my adopted father or my real father. He was my father, and I loved him, so I didn't care. Ray was never curious enough about his real parents to go and try to seek them out. Hopefully, he had a very pleasant experience with whoever it was that adopted him, and he didn't think he had to look any further. So something similar in our backgrounds, and I thought that was pretty cool. Something you may not know also is that while Ray was attending high school, for about 6 months, he worked in the local cemetery. My father always told me a story about people daring him to walk through a cemetery at night, and he said, hey, pay me and I'll do it. He said, dead people can't help you. So I guess Ray, kind of felt the same way. A lot of people don't want to work in a cemetery, but the fact that Ray did that, I think that's pretty cool about his character. Some of you may disagree. I think it's pretty cool. In 1997, the British rock band known as Linoleum released a song of their album, and it was entitled Ray Liotta. Now, honestly, I never heard of Linoleum. I don't know who they are, but they released a song in 1997, and it was entitled Ray Liotta. Now, I don't know if any of you have seen the film Narc, but he was great in it. He played Henry Oak in, I think it was 2002, and he had to gain 20 pounds for the role. He also wore small lifts under his clothing to make himself even appear larger than that. So that was cool. Gain 20 pounds for a role, that's pretty tough. Just imagine yourself gaining intentionally 20 pounds. You know, when you're not used to carrying that weight, and then he wears lifts to make himself look even larger. It shows you his commitment as an actor, what he was willing to go through. Not everybody would do that, but he took on that role. He was brilliant in it, by the way. See the movie Narc. It was 2002. It was just a great film. You know, this is very interesting. In 1989, he turned down the role of Harvey Dent in the Batman movie because he had other commitments at the time. He would have been great. He plays a great villain, by the way. Ray was terrific in that. I don't know if you ever saw the movie Turbulence. If you haven't, you got to watch it. He played a convict up on a plane that was being transported somewhere, and he was the villain, and he was just scary. I got to tell you, he played a tremendous role. But watch the movie Turbulence. It was really great. It was him and the stewardess that were on the plane alone. All the passengers that were left, a lot of them were killed. The FBI agents got killed. The marshals got killed. Everybody was dead. And, you know, the passengers were locked up in the back of the cabin. And we see Ray Liotta just stalking the flight attendant. It was a terrific film. He was scary. Watch it. It was called Turbulence. But he turned down the role of Harvey Dent. It was a big role in the movie Batman. And I'm going to tell you something about Harvey Dent. The person that played that role might be getting involved with me in some way. I'm not going to reveal it at this point, but it's under consideration right now. So some of you may know what I'm talking about. Others that don't, you'll have to wait and see. Now here's another thing. In the 1988 TV movie called Rat Pack, Ray played Frank Sinatra. And he did a pretty good job. He played Sinatra in the movie Rat Pack. If you didn't see that, it was a television movie, I believe. But watch it. I remember seeing it years ago, and he did a great job. As always, Ray's a brilliant actor. Another interesting thing, in the movie Departed, he was supposed to play Dingham. You know, remember Jack Nicholson's right-hand man? He was originally cast in that, but then he had a conflict with another film that he was doing. He couldn't do it. The guy that played Dingham was terrific, but Ray Liotta would have been great too. I mean, it's so hard to see him mess up in any film. He was just great. And so there's a couple of things you probably didn't know about him. And now, you know, just a couple of his movies. Obviously, Goodfellas, again, I'll say it. He was brilliant in that movie. You know, again, I had a little difficult time originally seeing him as Henry Hill because of the fact that I knew Henry very well. And Henry did not look like Ray Liotta, nor did he carry himself like Ray Liotta. Ray did a great job, though. When I forgot about Henry and just got into the role, Ray did a tremendous job. Goodfellas was great. Field of Dreams, he was terrific in that movie. And I'm talking about movies that I've seen him in. He was great, really great. You know, different kind of character for him, but he did such a good job, which shows how versatile he was as an actor. Turbulence, told you about that. He was great. Another movie I saw that he was great and scary, the movie Identity. I don't know if you saw that. It all takes place in a motel. It was kind of a, you know, mystery type of movie, but he was great in that. Another one, Unlawful Entry. He was a bad cop, a rogue cop who fell in love with, I think it was Madeline Stowe played the role, and you see how he tried to get rid of her husband, who was Kurt Russell at the time, played that role. But he was, again, good, scary, terrific. Narc, I told you about, he was great in that. Copland, you know, he was terrific in that. You know, again, just enjoyed him. And then, of course, The Many Saints of Newark. Now, you know I didn't like that film. They should have never made it, in my opinion. But without a doubt, the best actor in that film was Ray Liotta. And he played twins. He played, you know, two roles in that film. And he was Montessanti's father, who was kind of, again, not a good guy. And then he played his brother, who was in prison. But he did a great job. He was the best thing in that film as far as I was concerned. So, you know, again, a tribute to him. Very, very sad when we lose somebody that was kind of iconic. And Ray was. He worked so often. Everybody knew him, you know, world-renowned. I feel a little bad because I am involved in a MobCon, which is going to be held in in the United Kingdom next year, and Ray Liotta was on the list to appear with us, and unfortunately that's not going to happen. I'll get into this a little bit more for all my people in the United Kingdom later on. It's in the planning stages now, but it looks like it's going to happen in February of next year. A lot of people will be going over. It's going to be great, but Ray, we're going to miss you. So what could I say? You know, people, we got to thank the Lord for every day that we have upright and on this earth. And, you know, things can change at any second in our lives. They really can. And that's why I am really thankful every day, just to get another day, because for me, it could have been a lot worse. I could either be dead or in prison for the rest of my life. And look at how fortunate I've been through all my struggles and all my challenges, and I've had many. And hopefully some of you can relate to that. We all have struggles. We all have challenges. It's basically how we deal with them that really makes a difference. How do we deal with the struggles and challenges that we have in our life? That really sets us apart from others. If we are determined to overcome them, if we surround ourselves with the right people, if we don't burn bridges, if we network properly with people in time of need, they'll be there for you. And I've found that out throughout my life. So, I want to be a source of encouragement to most all of you out there. I really am. And, my whole life is encouraging in a way, because like I said, for me, it should have ended a lot worse than it did. And the fact that, with the help of so many, with my faith and trust in God, I've been able to transform my life, still have my family, still, be in touch with all of you and do the things that we're doing. I'm just so grateful for it, and I really am. And I mean this. I thank all of you because, look, on YouTube, you got a lot of choices. You can go anywhere. You can look at so much. I mean, you can flip a channel in a second and be somewhere else. And the fact that you've supported me and you enjoy our content, it's very much appreciated. So I want to thank you again, all of you, for that. My book, Mafia Democracy, it's on sale. It's selling great, bestseller, but more than that, it's important. You need to read what's going on in our government. We have to hold our officials accountable. We got to do this in the voting booth, peaceful protests. We got to make our presence known, put the right people in office. Franzese wine. We're going all over the world, people. It's really moving. And again, just blessed that you people that have had it are enjoying it, accepting it. We're hearing nothing but great feedback. So thank you for that. That's it for today. How do I always leave you? The same way. Be safe. And again, this is a shout out to the ladies. Please, every time I read the paper, I read something that I'm not happy about, whether it be somebody being attacked or whatever. Women, please observe everything that's around you, wherever you are, in a store, in a parking lot, at a concert. Always know what's going on. And, a school, I don't even want to talk about that anymore, the nightmare thing that we encountered, in Texas just a short time ago. Prayers go out to the families of all those people that were, and especially the young kids that were murdered and injured. Our heart goes out to them. Be healthy. Take care of yourself. It matters. Trust me. God bless all of you. I really mean that. And God willing, I'll see you all next time. Praise God.